welcome to my ex-Christian Bible study secular deconstructing bonanza. I'm here to help you deconstruct. We're diving into the textbook, The New Testament, by Dr. Bart Ehrman, ex-Christian and biblical historian. I highly suggest you follow him on social media, get the book, and follow me too, of course, as I deconstruct and share my spiritual journey. I cannot wait to dive into chapter 2 with you, entitled, Do We Have the Original Testament? Because of course the answer is, let's talk about how the New Testament writings got passed down from when they were written in the 1st and 2nd centuries to now. We're living in the digital age where you can copy and paste the misspelling-ridden text from your ex all over social media with very little effort. So we forget that people didn't have that luxury for over a dozen centuries. Remember that the printing press was invented in the 1400s. Before that, every single book had to be copied by hand. By hand. So in order for you to have that impeccable-looking, leather-bound edition of the Bible with the fancy fonts and the pretty margins, massive amounts of scribbling had to be done over and over and over for a millennium. We have none of the original copies of the New Testament writings, which means that what we have are copies of copies of copies. We also know that the scribes weren't perfect and that God did not inspire thousands upon thousands of people to not make one single mistake. How do we know this? Because we have error-riddled manuscripts with tons of differences. We have about 5,700 manuscripts of the New Testament. Most of them are from the Middle Ages, which means dozens of copies were made between the originals and them. Between the manuscripts we have, there are approximately 1.7 million differences. Some of those differences are just people not knowing how to spell resurrection, but some are more significant. In fact, some of those differences are missing and added verses of today's most well-known parts of the New Testament. Why? Because some of the changes weren't accidental. There are actually 3 reasons for a difference. The first is straight up a mistake. The second is somebody thinking that the person he's copying from made a mistake and he's going to fix it, thus introducing a mistake. And the third is somebody not liking what was written there and changing it to fit his idea of what Jesus or Paul said or did. That one's a purposeful misleading of the reader to change what the original said. I will add that these are not unique to the New Testament, but to all books scholars have from antiquity. But still, the answer to the question, do we have the original New Testament, is a resounding absolutely not. In the next part, I'm going to talk about some examples of the differences, because I do love me some examples.